Today I'm going to be showing you an AI automation that will allow you to receive personalized news summaries sent straight to your phone every single day. I'm going to start with a quick demo, and then I'm going to show you exactly how this automation works, and I'll show you how to get access to a free template so you can start using this yourself. So you can see I have a voice message sent straight to my Telegram account here. I'll play this out loud so you can see what it says.
Amazon's AGI lab in San Francisco has introduced its first advanced AI model, Amazon Nova Act, which reportedly surpasses AI models from OpenAI and Anthropic on several intelligence benchmarks. Additionally, Amazon unveiled a software development kit, SDK, to assist engineers in utilizing Nova Act for creating software agents.
So you can see we get that voice message sent straight to our Telegram chat here, and I'm going to show you how to set up this entire thing so you can get personalized news recommendations just like this sent straight to you. So to get started setting this up for yourself, the first thing you're going to do is go down to the link in the description where I've given you access to this template for completely free. Once you've downloaded that template in the form of a JSON file, we're going to head over to a platform called innatinn.io. Here you're going to create an account or log in if you already have one. Once you've logged in, you're going to be brought to this overview page, where we can go up to the top right and select create a new workflow. This will bring us to an empty editor, and since you already have that template, all you need to do is go to the top right again, select on these three dots, and then select import from file. You're just going to select that JSON file and it will open up this workflow inside of your editor here. So the workflow is going to look something like this. I will have replaced this with a schedule, and I'll show you what that does in just a second. So on the far left side here, you can see a little lightning bolt next to this node. This just means that it's the trigger node for this workflow. So whenever this is triggered, the rest of the workflow will then execute. And what it's set to now is trigger when, or click test workflow to start the workflow. So I have to trigger this manually just by clicking this button here at the bottom. However, I'm going to switch this for a schedule. So the template will have a schedule trigger here. This just allows you to schedule, if you receive it every day, and then the time that you receive that. You can add the minute here as well. You can add different rules, but this is what the template will have. So you can schedule this to be sent to you however often you'd like. I'm just going to be showing you the workflow here by testing it manually. So what this is doing is, in this first step, we are sending a HTTP request to a platform called Tavily. Tavily allows us to search the web for different topics. What this step is actually doing is sending a post request to Tavily to get back search results from the web. So you'll need an API key, which I'll show you how to get in just a second. And then the query we are sending in is just any information that you want results on every single day. So my query is just updates on AI agents. So you can add different steps here as well, depending on if you want multiple pieces of information. So if you want summaries on different things, you can add duplicates of this step. So all you have to do is click these three dots, select duplicate, and then you can edit the query that you're actually sending to Tavily. So you can edit this little bit of text here and get updates on multiple things. So you can have multiple steps, which you will have to actually edit inside of these fields here, but that will allow you to receive updates on multiple different topics. So up next, we are then combining the search results of the Tavily response into a response variable here, which is represented by this string response, and then we are just formatting those. So you want to select execute the previous nodes. It will give you all of the information from Tavily, and then you can format the response here. So before I get ahead of myself, we're going to get this API key for Tavily, and then we're going to paste it in here. So to do that, we're just going to look up tavily.com, and it will look like this. We're going to log in here, and then it will bring you to this overview page here, and then it makes it really easy. It just gives you the API keys right here. I think this one's here by default even, so you can just copy this. If not, just generate a new one, copy that API key, and then we can go back over to innatinn, and you're just going to paste that inside of these quotations here, just like this. And then again, you just update the query that you actually want the news information to be about. So once we're done with that, you can edit things like the max results if you'd like. So on Tavily's website, they have the documentation here. So you can kind of look through that on your own. And if you want to edit this JSON body here, you can do so. If you do make any updates to that, you will have to update the combined fields here, this fields edit. But after that, we are getting, these two steps are getting the information from Tavily, which is a web search tool, and then we are going into and searching for tweets on X. And what we're doing is we are just searching for tweets about the search term AI agents. And then what we're doing here is we actually need to provide a limit of the amount of tweets that we are actually getting back. So I believe the range is 10 to 50, so you have to get at least 10 tweets back. You can go up to 50, I believe, but that is why this is set to 10 here. So I realized while editing this that I completely forgot to show you how to actually connect to Twitter, which pretty important step. So re-recording this, or at least just this part of it, to show you how to actually connect to your Twitter account here. So we're going to open up this node, and then you're going to insert the search term that you actually want. I think I did talk about that, and then the limit here. So I think their limit for the API call is you have to have it between 10 and 50. So I just set it as 10, the lower limit, but you can edit that here if you like, and then change whatever you want to actually search for, and then to actually connect your X or Twitter account. So we're going to select this drop down, select create new credential, and then we have this OAuth redirect URL, and then we need a client ID and a client secret. So I'm going to show you how to get both of those, and then I'm going to show you where we actually need to put this. So we're first going to look up Twitter developer, and then I'm going to select this second one, so the use cases tutorials, and it'll take us to their platform like this. And then I'm going to select on developer portal, and then you can see I've used, I don't even know how that's possible, but I've used 110 out of 100 requests. So yeah, I can't access this API right now because I've hit this limit, but you will have not yet. So we see a project app here. Now I think this was already on my account when I first opened this. So you can select this drop down and go to the overview, and then you can select on the individual project, and then you can select on this app. So I'm going to select on this project, and then I'm going to scroll down to my apps here at the bottom. Now I don't think you have to connect or create this. If you do, just create one. But then what we can do is select on app settings. So here we're going to scroll all the way down to the user authentication setup here. We're going to select edit on this field, and you can change the permissions here. You can select the type of app. So N8N is a web app, so select the web app. And then for the app info, we are going to copy that OAuth redirect URL from N8N. So I'm going to click on that to copy it, and then you're just going to paste that inside of this redirect URL section here. Now you also have to add a website URL, so you can add your personal website if you have one. I just added my N8N account there. I don't think it really matters too much, but click save once you've added both of those and made any changes to the type of app and the app permissions right there. And then what we need to do is we're going to go over to keys and tokens. So this is at the top when we are actually selected on this app here. It's just these top two tabs here. And if you scroll down, that gives us access to the client ID and the client secret. So copy that client ID, paste it in here, and then we can go back and you can generate the client secret or regenerate it in my case, and then paste that into the client secret section there. Click save, and then you should be good to go. I'm just going to close out of that, and yeah, I'll insert this part wherever in the video, but enjoy the rest of the video. And then we are sending in those tweets into this code section here. So this node basically combines all of the tweets which are represented as items in the previous. So we're sending all those tweets into this code block and combining all of them to this combined text right here, and then we're returning that value here. So up next, we are then assigning that combined text value to a string called Twitter summary. So this was an error that I was getting when actually combining these fields here, but what we are doing is, I'll add notes for this so it's easier to understand. So again, in this step, we are searching the web using Tavily, and then we are just formatting those responses that we are getting back into a variable called response. So response is the responses from the web search. And then up next, we are searching on Twitter. So we're searching tweets for the term AI agents, and we're getting back 10 tweets that match that search criteria. After that, we are then going through all 10 of those tweets, and we are assigning that to a variable called combined text. And then in this step, we are reassigning the combined text to a string variable called Twitter summary. You can probably do this inside of the code here. I just added another node here to make this Twitter summary a string, and then assign that same value to Twitter summary. And then what we're doing here is we are combining the web search results and the Twitter tweet or the Twitter search results or X search results into one final info variable here. So we're just combining that into a string, one long string containing the web info and then the tweet info, and then plugging in the variables for both of those responses here and then here. So once we get that long response back containing both of the search information for both Twitter and the web response, we're then feeding that into a summarization chain using OpenAI, which summarizes all of that information for us. And then we're using OpenAI again to generate the audio, and then we are sending an audio file to ourselves through Telegram. So to do this, we're going to need to connect to OpenAI. So I'm going to click on this chat model here, and then you're going to select this drop down, create new credential, and then we need to get the OpenAI key here. So to do that, we're going to look up OpenAI API, and then I'm going to click on this platform page here, and then we can go to the top, select dashboard, go over to the left side, select API keys, and then you're going to select create new secret key. So it'll ask you to name it. I would recommend just calling it something like innate-in, and then you're going to want to write down that secret key, but you also don't want to share that key. So write it down somewhere safe, but copy that, and then we can go over to innate-in, paste that in here, click save, and then you will be good to go as far as connecting your OpenAI account. So in here we are just doing getting the output from the summarization chain, and then creating an audio response about that text that we are passing in. So there's nothing you need to do in here since you've already connected your OpenAI account. And then over here in this Telegram step, what we are doing is we are sending that audio file back to ourselves through a Telegram message. So to do this, you need a Telegram account, first of all. And then what you can do is we need to create a bot inside of Telegram. And to do that, you need to start a conversation with what is called botfather here. So you can see the username here is @botfather. So start a conversation there. I believe /start happens automatically. If not, just do /start. It will give you a list of prompts or commands that you can enter, and then you'll do /new bot. It'll ask you to name it, and then it will give you the link to message that bot, and then it will give you the API access token here that you can actually start messaging or copy the access token rather, and then we can go into Telegram, and then you're going to need to create a credential here. So paste in the access token here, click save, and then that will connect to Telegram through innate-in. Now you will also need to access your chat ID, which I'll have something like this here. So in order to get your chat ID, I think the easiest way to go about doing this is we can click this plus. We're going to add another trigger, This is just going to be a temporary trigger to get that chat ID really quickly. Just type Telegram, and then we're going to do on a message. So whenever we send a message to our Telegram bot that we just connected to Innate-In, it will then trigger this, and that will give us some output values. And one of those will be the chat ID. So I'm going to click plus on this, or the play button, and now you can see it is waiting for a Telegram event to occur. And I'm just going to send a test message through Telegram. Oh, not that one. Go over to your bot that you just created. I'm going to send a test message. And then you can see it received that message, and then it will give us the output for that message here. And under that output is the chat section and then the chat ID. So you can just copy this, and then we can go over to the Telegram field here, and you're just going to paste that chat ID into this field here. So that is it as far as setting up this workflow here. There's a lot that you can change and edit depending on the query that you want, the news topics that you want. You can search on Twitter. I just chose Twitter because it's more faster paced, so you get more up-to-date information. But I'm sure there are loads of other platforms that you can search on as well. So yeah, if you have any questions setting this up or any changes that you'd like to make, drop in the comments below. But if you did find this video useful, leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. Have a good one.